The great interest rate deception is underway, and there is so much more to this story than you know. And you know what? It's time to go to economics class. Class is in freaking session. Now that all the people that don't want to learn anything that are stupid just hung up, we can actually talk about this because it's actually a big deal. I got a story out of Newsweek, and I've got a story of something that happened last night. Now, I was hanging out with some really successful people the other night, very incredible entrepreneurs, own big businesses, right? And they like Trump, they're Republican, they love making America great again. They love not even a narrative, the entire reality of it, right? They like what's going on. And they were talking about interest rates. And the one thing they were super excited about is one gentleman was like, I bet you Trump gets rates down in a couple of weeks. I will bet you a steak dinner. Now, I just want to hang out with this guy because he's super cool. And just really cool to be around. Loves life, loves freedom, loves making money. Like we jived. And to be honest with you, he had a caboose in his backyard. I mean, come on. Type 1 if you would be stoked to have a caboose in your backyard. All right, anyway, so he said he was super excited about interest rates going down. And I said, here's the problem. There's unintended consequences, and there's a coming hyperinflation if rates go down now, because it would be too soon, right? Well, the thing is that he's looking at it through a lens of how's it affecting his company? How's it affecting his employees? You know, can they buy homes? All this kind of stuff. We already know that real estate is absolutely doubled. There's a pretty successful real estate agent in the group too, and he goes, you do realize that inventory has over doubled. I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. He's probably watching the Ninja right now. And he's going, why is that guy in the back lot of a Sprouts? I'm like, I don't know. The story out of Newsweek says economists warn that the Fed could hike interest rates despite Trump calling for cuts. Now, I want to remind everyone, can you guys do me a favor and answer this? Does the Federal Reserve lower rates, type yes or no, when the economy is doing good? Do they lower rates when the economy is doing good? I'm going to give you a second to answer that question. And the reason why is because most people don't get it. And they don't understand that when rates go down, it spurs borrowing, right? People are like, oh my gosh, I can finally afford that thing I can't afford because I don't got the money to buy the house. I don't got the money to buy the car. I don't got the money to speculate in the stock market. And so when interest rates go down, if their credit score is good enough, they borrow a ton of money and they leverage it to the nine, and then they go to bankruptcy court about 6 years later. It's this whole vicious cycle. Anyway, now think about this. Right now, you see Trump just railing on Jerome Powell. Like, did you guys all see? Type 2 if you saw when Jerome Powell and Trump's got a hard hat on and they're in this construction zone, which is totally safe because Secret Service has been around and go, are there any hammers that can fall out of the sky? No? Okay. Oh, that's right. Nancy Pelosi's husband's not here. But is there any threats? No. Okay. They're like in the safest part of the Federal Reserve building that's being, redone, right? And he straight up calls him out. He's like, you spent money here and here. And Jerome Powell's like, no, I did not know about that. And he goes, oh, no, look, I've got a letter right here. It's official. It's signed. You can see the look on Jerome Powell's face. Now, what would be really cool is if Trump would just go in front of everyone. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on, everybody. You guys all know that this bank is private and the government's paying for their building. That would be pretty epic. You want to talk about crap in your pants. Sorry, Mrs. Ninja says, I got to stop saying that. But it's true. It would be a true crap your pants moment. Because most people honestly don't know. I mean, all of you guys know. There may be one person that doesn't know. I'm not going to call you out. But there may be one person. So just so you guys know, the one person, the Federal Reserve is a private bank. And it controls the money system. As a matter of fact, it controls the value of the dollar through interest rate manipulation and the printing or decreasing of the money supply. So here's the deal. I'm not even going to read this stupid, Newsweek used to cover my channel, which was really cool, but I'm not even going to read it. And the reason why is because the thing is, they're all sitting there not going to tell you what's most important. You see, the dollar is falling in value. It's evident in a handful of indicators. First, the DXY, the Dixie, as it's pronounced or called sometimes. The DXY is a basket of currencies that interact with each other based on value of, their forex swapping and stuff like that. It's a measure of the dollar versus these currencies, and the DXY is falling, all right? The dollar is also falling to other assets like gold, like silver, like crypto, especially Bitcoin, XRP, mainnets, things like that. What people need to realize is as things of value go up, like oil. Oil hasn't gone up a ton, but I mean, it's holding steady. It's up a little bit, right? And the dollar goes down in value. That's bad. And to correct that, the only thing really the Federal Reserve has to do is to pull dollars out of supply and raise interest rates to bring value to the dollar so that countries and wealthy people will go, hey, I want to hold those dollars because I'm getting a better yield or rate of return, okay? That's really the only two things they can do, because when they decrease the money supply, they pull money out, right? They go tear up a bunch of $1 bills. That's not what they do. But let's just say they did. There would be less dollars chasing more goods. Oh, wait, hold on. There is another problem there that people don't realize. So let's back up. See, hyperinflation happens when there's a flood of money. And there's so much money, you go out and buy up stuff and you don't care what you pay for it because you've got all this money. Now, usually with the middle class, which are the prime people that, it's the largest group of people, right? Middle class is the largest. They're also the poorest. I know it sounds crazy because a lot of dudes are running around in brand new F-350 trucks, but they don't own them. So they are the poorest group, right? They're using money leverage to buy things that they can't afford by just writing a check. Like, let me give you an example. I'm going to buy a car today. I think I'm going to go buy a car today. I think I'm going to go buy an orange Audi R8. And the only reason I'm going to buy it, I know it sounds stupid. You want to hear stupid? This is stupid. Because I'm going to sit there with an orange Audi R8 and I'm going to sit there with my cell phone and go, hey, look, if you want to be like me, you could do this. Well, the guy that actually used to film vlogs like that and got really famous, he leased those cars. I write checks. And the thing is, and it's orange and it's one color of the rainbow. And you guys know I want like every color of the rainbow in my car collection. So, but it's sad, but it's true because that's how the consumer acts. Most of them are just sitting there like, I just want to show off, and it's all fake. Everything's fake. Like even on YouTube, it's crap's all fake. I know a lot of the guys. And it drives me nuts. Well, with interest rates, they only go down when things are bad. So when Trump gets them to lower rates again, what it's going to cause, because a lot of people have actually held on to their credit score, and they've actually been able to do something with it still, meaning they're going to go out and buy houses. That's going to run the price of a house up. They're only going to take away one metric from real estate. And if you want to learn how to invest in real estate and make stupid money, like link down below to the Tax Liens and Deeds course, it'll blow your mind. I just found out a student has won over 70 tax liens and 14 of them have already, like in the last handful of months, 14 have already redeemed mailbox money. Anyway, sorry, link down below to that. So then you don't have to pay $2,000 for one of those courses. That's what they charge these things. So anyway, what's going to happen is they're going to take away one metric of a house payment. See, interest rates are what they are right now, but the price of the home hasn't fallen dramatically, right? Sure, I bought a house for 15% less than last year because they couldn't sell it. I just saw a house that I'd like to buy that's already down 25% from its peak. So yeah, that's good. But when by and all, we haven't seen like 50% cuts yet in real estate, right? You're seeing price drops all over the place, all over the country. You're hearing stories of, Austin falling, San Francisco falling, all these big cities, right? But it hasn't hit the entire nation yet because that narrative hasn't been put out. Because the second the mainstream media goes and tells everyone, hey, homes are falling, then sellers are going to panic and they're going to drop their prices. Or they're going to pull their house off the market. It's going to be chaos, right? Because they have been told. See, human beings have to be told what's going on. They don't actually have any kind of real discovery themselves. And so there's three metrics. Taxes are still the same on these houses. The insurance costs are still the same. And they're going to lower the interest rate. And that one catalyst, you take out, one catalyst, one pricing problem with the houses, everyone's going to race in. You're going to cause a mini hyperinflation. But because of time lag, it's going to take probably about 2-3 years. Well, by then Trump will be gone out of the office, and everyone will be like really excited. But then they'll wonder what just happened, and then you have another even bigger crash. Now, I really honestly hope that they do not lower rates. I really hope they don't, because that also is going to lower the value of the dollar. Why? Because it's going to flood the market with money. So what will happen? Countries will go, okay, we're already not buying dollars, or we're slowing it down drastically. And we're buying gold and Bitcoin. We're going to buy more of it. So you see what happens? So I'm hoping that you're investing in ulterior investments, right? If you're going to go into real estate, go look at Tax Liens and Deeds. It's going to blow your mind, right? It'll seem, no joke, too good to be true, but this has been around, this law and this setup, for like over a couple hundred years. You can make a lot of money. As a matter of fact, more people became millionaires from tax liens and tax deeds during the Great Depression than any other industry. It's very little unknown fact, but I like to live in those kind of ranges where people are making fun of you and they don't understand. So instead of asking questions, humans make fun of other humans because that's the easiest self-defense mechanism they got. So type 10 if you understand what I'm talking about. Like, that's a big deal. Once you get that, you're sort of like, oh, you want to make fun of me? Bring it on. So anyway, if you guys want the link to that course, that's down below. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope Trump does not succeed in lowering interest rates. That would be a very bad thing. But hey, what do I know? Just a dude with a bro hawk and a dream. See you guys.